I'd like to consider Vamp my baby. Every first feature film an actress does, or actor, is like your baby. I had done some things before that, but that was my first feature film, first starring role. So Vamp, and I apologize for people who've heard this interview many, many times before, but it is. Vamp is my baby.
I'm Amoretto, not really, and I will be your waitress for this evening, guys. So what can I get for you, huh?
It was huge to score a feature film at that time. Actually now, anymore. But to be the lead in it. So that's why, how many, 20 years later, 30 years later now, I'm coming back to you to talk about Vamp, because I'll always talk about Vamp.
Okay, you're dying to ask me.
What?
I've always loved, I've always loved vampires. Now, it's funny, I don't associate Vamp with a vampire movie. If you look at my character through the movie, as an actor especially, you wouldn't view it as a vampire movie because of Amoretto and how she saw her life around her. She didn't see anything but the lead guy. Buildings were burning down around her, vampires were running out of the building, and she's like, do you remember who I am?
You don't remember me, do you? It has been a long time, but I remember you.
So it wasn't, for me as an actor, a vampire movie.
This is really weird. It's like a reunion or something.
Yeah, I wish I knew with who.
When the time is right, I promise I'll tell you.
But I do remember as a little girl, I mean, ask my boys, I love vampires. Which is funny, my first movie is a vampire, and yet I really kind of had very little to do with that, other than the mystery element of it. I remember the black and white, really bad vampire movies that we now look back upon and go, you're joking me. I love those. On Sunday afternoons, my dad wasn't watching his sports. We had one TV in the whole house, there's 4 kids, and we had to go and turn the channels like this. Okay, yes, I'm dating myself. And it was black and white vampire movies where inevitably the woman was like lying there in bed with this white chiffon, and the windows, the wind is blowing through the window, and the chiffon or whatever drapes are doing this, and then she's like lying there a little unnerved, but she goes to sleep, and there's a guy in the window, and then she looks and he's gone. And I remember thinking, close the window. I was really young. I remember thinking, close the window, you're scaring me. But then she closed her eyes again, and she was always just kind of just lying like this beautifully, and her chest was just breathing, heaving with the sun or the moonlight right on it. And then the guy, of course, would appear again, and then come over and closer. She's lying there, the music goes up, bad music, but now looking back, it's really bad music, but I loved it. And I'm thinking, wake up, she's gonna bite you. But it was so, looking back, it was very erotic, because it wasn't graphic back then. It was just the anticipation of it, and it was very sexually done and erotic in the sense that she's just like, lying there sleeping helplessly and so like open and vulnerable, and then he'd come and then she'd wake up, and then he would go to bite her and then cloak her. And you never saw any of the graphics, but you knew what was going on, and yet, you know, it was like bad, but it was so good. But it was bad, but it was so good. I remember being really little confused about that. So I was terribly, terribly to this day loving vampires. Anne Rice, I've read them all. Yeah, and actually Vamp has very little to do with my infatuation with vampires, which is funny, because it should, but it doesn't.
Look, no thanks, come on.
Who are you?
Oh, she's crazy. She's nuts, just like me. She's a helpless, hopeless, romantic love. Yeah, very similar. Amoretto, like me, when I fall in love, you know, nothing else is happening in the world. It's just, oh my God, I love you.
Allison, matches.
You called me Allison.
Matches.
And that's one thing I loved about Amoretto, was there was just this beauty of her just honest love, and her just ability to just, well, you know, you can call her the dumb blonde, that's fine.
Will this help?
You got ammo with that?
You mean bullets? No.
I used to be called a dumb blonde, but I kind of changed my hair color. I guess now I'm a dumb brunette. Not dumb anymore because I changed careers. But no, I think back, you know, in the 80s when we did the movie, you know, there was a lot of dumb blonde roles, and I got a lot of them. I never scored any of my characters as the dumb blonde. Their focus was really specific, and they didn't really care much about anything around them. So that would come off very dumb. And really, I think it was just really genuinely passionate about their focus.
This isn't exactly the time I had in mind. I thought maybe you...
I did a series for years with the same kind of similar character, but she came off not smart, but she actually was very smart. She just chose not to let anyone know because she actually used the blonde card, you know. But Amoretto basically just loved, you know, Chris's character through the whole movie, and that was her goal.
My name. I'm Allison. Allison Hicks, remember? Seaside Heights, summer vacation, 5th grade. We were in Sue Leonard's basement. We were playing Spin the Bottle, and I spun and it landed on Moose, and you kind of pushed the bottle, and I didn't have to kiss him. I ended up kissing you. Remember now?
Yeah. You have incredible timing.
Well, Chris was so sweet, just a sweetheart, and we were both really young. He had far more success at that point with My Bodyguard, and you know, he had been working a lot more than I. So I was like, oh my God, I'm working like with these huge people.
Drop the knife, Snowflake, or you'll be picking these up off the
floor. Robert I didn't know of, but he was considered very up and coming at the time. And then Grace was, well, Grace. We all knew who she was. Grace, I remember hearing about her, and you hear all these stories in Hollywood, true or false or whatever, but I remember being scared. I remember going, oh my God, I'm afraid to meet her. And I remember on the set when I was like, oh, nice to meet you, I'm Dedee Pfeiffer, and my first feature film, and you know, and I went to shake her hand thinking she's gonna take my hand and just twist it and I'm gonna be like a pretzel. And it was the softest, nicest, most gentle handshake I'd ever experienced in my life. So I was so shocked to hear all this stuff and then to go to shake her hand and be like, what, you didn't tear my hand off? You know what I mean? So I thought she was very sweet. I didn't get to know her. It was a very hard shoot.
What the hell are you doing?
The bitch owes me money.
But Grace was Grace. She's an artist. And artists often, well, you know, they do what they do. And then, everybody making little Dedee Pfeiffer hex dolls. And like, well, it was a really hard shoot for a lot of reasons. I mean, you have to understand, filmmaking back then was a heck of a lot different than it is now. I didn't cuss because I owe my sons $1 if they hear me. It was a whole different dynamic. It's not the way the industry that we know now. So let me just say that. The rules, the playing field was really different. So to not come out of your trailer for hours on end was, I guess, for certain people, the norm, especially if they were warned before that that's how they behave. So having said that, that happened a lot.
We be looking for ya.
Chris and I would go to work, and these are the scenes we're supposed to do. And for one reason or another, and I'm not going to point fingers because I don't want any voodoo dolls at me, they would say, okay, for this reason or that reason, we can't do that scene, so now we're going to do this scene. Well, we're not prepared to do this scene. Well, we have to do it because the bonding company is going to take the film away. Because we need footage in every single day. They're threatening to take the film away from the film away from the director. And of course, Chris and I were like, well, then we won't come to work. And they're like, well, then they're going to sue you. And we're like, well, then fine. You know, because we were defending our director and the integrity of the movie, and thinking that we knew what we were talking about. And we were such fools. We had not a clue what we were talking about. So basically, we would, at last minute, have to learn scenes like that we were not prepared to do. And we were also often asked, or a few times I remember, to do a scene where it was never rehearsed and we didn't have the other actors in the scene. So we were supposed to react to something we had never seen before. So Richard, who was so great, said, okay, let's try this 3 ways. Perform it in the most absurd, okay? Perform it like as real as you can, and then downplay the heck out of it, right? So that he in the editing room could literally create the performance depending on what he would shoot on the other side. You know, cameras over here, here's the scene. So and I was really young, so I was like, I have not a clue what he was talking about. I just took the direction, just did it. Now looking back, I completely understand what he was doing. He was basically covering his very so smart ASS, and I spelt it, I don't owe you $1. So, you know, so that happened a few times.
I think we should leave.
We had a lot of things go the making of Vamp is the movie, not Vamp. Really, we've always said, if you shot the making of Vamp, that is a movie, you know, because it's the absurdity of what we went through, and the film actually got done, and it's actually kind of good. I really like it. That's just me. We had crew members, I think one got stabbed.
You get the feeling we're not in Kansas anymore?
My car got stolen off the set. Thank you very much. Yes, 12-hour night, actually. We worked nights, and I came off of work. It was like 6 in the morning or something, working all night, and everyone's getting their cars and leaving, and I was like, oh, where's my car? And they're like, what car? I said, my car, I parked it here like 12 hours ago. I'm really tired. I need to go. They said, well, what do you mean? I said, my car, it was right here. Did you move it? No. Where's my car? Gone. I'm up till wee hours in the morning after having worked all these hours and doing a police report. Someone got me home, I can't remember. And found it a week later. Homeless person they had left the keys in the car. Homeless person just jumped in and took off. It was a brand new car. It was my very first brand new car. I bought myself, and I really loved it. It was just like a little Isuzu iMark. It really was nothing, you know, but it was mine, and I bought it brand new from all these, you know, working really hard. And when I got it back, the homeless guy had to have been driving and drawing on the side of the walls with a pen while driving. He was an artistic homeless person. Lived in there, peed in there, was homeless in there. So I got my car back, but it was far from, a used car would have been better than that. And the insurance company kind of, you know, glued it back together and did as much as they could and gave it back to me. So that was one of the things that happened that really bummed me out. Oh God, Richard got sick and a bunch of crew guys got sick from like some bacteria from the food or something. They all went down with some parasite or something in the hospital. They were all like throwing up diarrhea. It was like dropping off like flies. Chris and I lost so much weight from the hours that we pulled that our wardrobe was falling off of us. The wardrobe girl, which is never heard in Hollywood. Well, I guess maybe next they're all anorexic. But then they were like, eat. Dedee, you know, we're eating M&Ms at 4 in the morning to stay awake, and our wardrobe was falling off of us. What else? Stabbing, parasite, Grace wouldn't come out of the trailer. Oh, I love this story. This is the best story. Grace had a wig.
He scared me. Nice hair.
When she was doing her dance. I think Richard probably has the best version of this because no one knew what the dance was going to be like. But her wig started at this length, and it was like in the 80s. That's right at a $2,000 wig now. It's like, whatever, right? Back then that was really expensive. So she had the guy in New York or something give her this $2,000 wig, and then they colored it this red-orange color. I can't remember, but it was a very striking color. Very artistic, very Keith Haring, I believe, was the gentleman who also did her body paint and stuff, which is kind of cool in that looking back at it, right? But it was very artistic. It was a very artistic move to make in this movie. No one really kind of saw it coming, nor did Richard. I don't think he did. So the Grace's dance was really funny because, like Richard said, no one knew what she was going to do, and it was supposed to be. It was written in the script as the most sexually captivating, like everyone's just like literally hypnotized by this sexuality and beauty and this dance. And so Grace came in with her New York artistic crew, which actually I think makes the film really cool now, looking back at it. It was like an accident gone right, but no one really understood it when it was going on. So Richard, having a phenomenal sense of humor, literally filmed the audience going at the end of it because no one knew what to think about it. So instead of saying, okay, cut, that's great, let's do it again with all of you all being, enticed and turned on and da-da-da. He said, no, this is a reaction. I got to film this because it's funny and it's what it is. And this is like a black comedy. And, he trusted that. He was well ahead of the times, I think, at that time, because otherwise anyone else would have said, no, redo the dance. No, make it more sexual. Everyone react like it's sexual, but it was just this odd, dance. But also kind of sexy in its own right? But I like the fact that supposedly, like, because the wig was so fried with color, there was all these little pieces in every wig, that kind of like come out. And instead of just either pulling that one piece out or just trimming that one hair, I guess her hair guy was going in after every take, trimming the wig. So I think Richard at one point looked up like halfway through the day and said, wait a minute, is that wig getting shorter? Because no one really paid attention that it was started like at the beginning of the day like this, and all of a sudden it got shorter. And finally, I think he says, the guy with the scissors, get him away from her. Get this guy with the scissors away. What is he doing? It's called continuity. We have to shoot the wig at the same length. Otherwise, every time we cut, it's gonna look like insane. So, but that's also because she brought an artistic group of people who really were individual painters. They were artists. They were maybe a hair person, a stylist, a makeup artist, but not necessarily in film. They were in print. And so the idea of continuity, at that time, now people cross over, but 20 years ago, it was different. It was hysterical though. When I heard that, when he was like, get the person with the scissors away from her, I was laughing really hard. I wasn't there that day, darn it. The release of Vamp? Well, it was really exciting for me. Oh gosh, what happened? Was that Red Surf or was that Vamp? I don't remember. If we came out, I think it was really quick and went right to video. We didn't have DVD then. It went right to video. No, we did have a little bit of a theatrical release. I'm sorry. Yes, we did. No, I'm thinking about. Sorry. 46 years later, it's a little fried. I just remember. Oh, what am I talking about? Of course, we did. We were in New York, and we had a premiere, and. Anthony Michael Hall was in the audience with his buddies, and he was totally like messed up and got kicked out of the after party, which is like the Limelight or something like that. That was super funny. We can laugh now because actually I did 2 guest starring roles on Anthony's or Michael's show, so we can talk about that.
So, are we jumpy tonight?
It was huge. Amoretto wore this zebra, her token jacket through the whole movie. And for the premiere in New York, I found in New York for like $18 a very skin tight little Maryland dress that had the same print. So I wore that and my jacket to the premiere thinking that I was just like all that. I was like, oh, look at me. I'm really Amoretto. I'm representing. Oh God, I thought I was really cute and sexy then.
I know I gotta get it fixed. It drives me crazy.
I just remember going to the premiere, just being really, again, nervous and excited, and this was huge for me. And the after party was super cool. I remember manager was trying to represent me. It was really kind of cheesy at the time. It really bugged me. I was like, I'm here to party, okay? Hello, I'm in New York. I'm from LA. I'm here to party. I have a really cute dress on. Can you please get out of my face? Hello. Which probably is the reason why my career went where it went. Because I was just too busy having fun.
Yes. You're gonna have a big party tonight, right? And for this party, you're definitely gonna need party stuff. Stuff. What? You're gonna need booze. Booze. You're gonna need tunes.
Tunes.
You're gonna need entertainment.
Booze is easy.
We provide it.
But really, the premiere was actually, not thinking about it, it was actually really awesome. It was super fun. I remember, this is the first time it ever happened to me. I came down from my hotel room and there was like 2 paparazzi and 1 person wanted my autograph. That was huge. I was like, oh my God, is everyone looking? Oh my God, they want my autograph. Oh my God, are you looking? Oh yes, take my picture. That was huge. I was, like I said, I was really young. That stuff, you'll never forget that kind of stuff. I went back to the room just thinking, yeah, I did it. I did a horror film. And I got some paparazzi out there, 2 paparazzi and a photographer, and someone want my autograph.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me.
All the work that you see me doing right now is all reruns. I took myself off the market. You called me just at the good time. I decided to do a career change.
That is really important because I'm still trying to find my purpose in life. You know what I mean? God knows I've looked.
After almost 30 years of being in the industry, I decided to put a permanent pause on acting and put myself through college. I've never been to college. I haven't been in school in almost 30 years. Yeah. And I just started summer school. And I just got my midterm, my very first midterm in my life. Never took a midterm in high school. We didn't do that in my high school. I don't know what the heck they did. We didn't do that though. So I'm going back to, I want to say go back to school. I always say that. I'd never been to school. So no, I'm going to school for the first time. And I'm going into the field of something around the general perimeter of a forensic psychologist. Something definitely to do with probably criminal profiling, maybe jury selection. I'll definitely have a specialty. I really kind of want to go into the, I've been playing the crazy character for so many years, the whacked out one, the one out of the box. And whenever I've approached my characters, I don't just read my lines and go in there or rehearse and go say the lines. I've always done a lot of research on how and why they say the things they do. People just don't become nuts for no reason. I mean, there's a long history from childbirth on, including genetics are also a factor. You know, I'm now learning that part in college. But instead of playing the crazy person, or trying to, wait for the phone to ring.
Tried the acting thing for a while, but I took what that was.
This is not a very kind industry when it comes to actresses getting older, which I'm not bitter about that at all. It's just, that's just the way it is. I just know that I want my life to really mean something. I have 2 little boys that I'm raising, and I want to inspire them. So I want to go make a difference in the world, kind of take the 30 years of what I've been doing, and now go in the bowels of it, get an education, a master's doctorate, and go into the world and hopefully make a difference. Instead of waiting for the phone to ring for an audition to play these people, I'd like to go into the world and actually see if maybe I can make a difference. Having a strange understanding of them just because I've been playing y'all for so long. You know, there's got to be somewhere out there where I can actually apply all these years. Something I have, I know I can give to this world. And I'm going to find it through going to college, you know, and inspire my boys that no matter what you're doing in your life, you're never too old to change your destiny or your path. It doesn't matter. The world really is right here. If you say you can, you will, you know. So my boys are my, not that I've ever done that. But if I did, that's them. They inspire me. Yes, we'll get French fries when we're done. I promise you.
She's